Previously on Gears.
All right, let's talk Formula One. Tomorrow is the first official testing for Formula One 2013. It'll take place in Jerez. It is a sunny day today, so let's just hope that it stays sunny for the rest of the week as well. We'll keep you updated, I promise you, right here on Gears as to what's happening in the testing. So we've had launches from last week, and the first car that was launched was the brand new Lotus, the E21 Lotus, and amazingly still came with the little step nose. Now last year we had most of the cars, all of the cars basically, that had step noses, and they're there specifically to as a safety device more than anything else. But there were lots of complaints by a lot of people saying, oh, they're too ugly. So what they did is the technical working group sat together and said, listen, we're not making it illegal because it does have a fundamental strength about it when it comes to the safety of a Formula One car. However, you can mask the nose now, so you don't have to have the step nose. So Lotus introduced their E21 with still the step nose, and amazingly came out and said, we believe that a lot of the cars will still maintain using the step nose. Well, they're a little bit wrong, because none of the other cars that have been launched since then have incorporated the step nose. Then Ferrari launched their contender. McLaren launched theirs first. McLaren launched theirs in Woking with Sergio Perez and Jenson Button. Very beautiful looking Vodafone McLaren team car. I must say, as sleek as ever. Not a tremendous amount of change that one can see with the eye, because don't forget, the car that they launch is not necessarily the car that we will see in the first race in Australia. They just put it there. They don't want to give too much away, so they just put like a standard front wing. However, the basic geometry of the car will be there. Then Ferrari launched the F138, and F standing for Ferrari, 13 standing for the year, and 8 standing for the V8, a tribute to V8, the last year that we will have V8. The car has also gotten rid of its step nose from last year, and I've got to say, and without any bias, the car does look very, very good. Not that the others don't look too good either. Force India have launched their car. It looks very much, if not exactly the same as last year, except with the bump on the nose. So the VJM 06 has been launched so far as well. We've had the 50 Shades of Grey Sauber C31. Now this is a car that really needs to perform this year. They've got Nico Hulkenberg in the car this year with them. This car really, really has to perform. It looks very good. They've narrowed the side pods. It looks very much like a Red Bull, to be very honest. So watch out for Sauber. They could spring a surprise during the course of the season as well. Then yesterday, the Red Bull RB9. Don't forget, the RB8, RB7 and RB6 are all championship winning Red Bulls. Car looks very similar as it did last year, but as I mentioned, you can't really tell too much about these cars until we see them on the circuit, and perhaps even starting with the free practice that begins tomorrow. So those are the cars that have been launched at this stage. The W04 Mercedes Petronas AMG is in the process of going to be launched during the course of this afternoon, as well as the Toro Rosso car. So we'll bring you those pictures a little bit later on as well. Now, moving on from there, we look at this rather peculiar situation that we have at Force India. And Force India, yes, they've launched their car, but the only driver who was in attendance at the launch was their current driver, Paul de Resta. Which is rather surprising that a team like Force India have not announced their second seat. They were waiting for Darren's condition to be sorted out, but unfortunately they seem to have overlooked him. They said he's much better on the radio than in the racing car. Yeah, you see, could have ridden for Force India 3 weeks ago, but the car wasn't ready. So Darren's definitely not in the running for the Force India seat. But now we get a little bit of a lottery. We've got, in my opinion, the driver that should be there, Kamui Kobayashi. Kamui Kobayashi has been dropped by Sauber because he doesn't have the funds. It's very, very sad. He did a great job for Sauber, has got some backing, but not that much. He, in my opinion, should be in that car. The second person in the puzzle is a driver, Adrian Sutil. Now, Adrian Sutil used to drive for Force India, then got unceremoniously booted out of there, but is coming back and saying he should be there as well. A good candidate, a very, very strong driver as well. And besides that, Daisy, he can play the classical piano.
Wow.
How cool is that, eh?
Talented.
Yeah, so Sutil comes with a bit of cash as well. Then we have the final two. The third one is a gentleman by the name of Jules Bianchi. Now, Jules Bianchi's been racing in GP2. He is part of the Ferrari Academy. All right. With Force India, though, as a reserve driver. Ferrari are sort of trying to push Jules Bianchi to get the seat so they can actually see how good he really is and whether or not they start using him to bring him forward to Ferrari. The problem here is that I don't see Ferrari now saying, okay, Force India, we'll pay you a whack load of money to let Jules Bianchi drive the car, considering the Force India has all of its technology coming from Mercedes-Benz. Doesn't really make any sense. So Bianchi, I think, maybe will stay as a reserve driver, perhaps. The final person in the reckoning to get the Force India seat is a man who's got a lot of money behind him, as well as his name, and that is Bruno Senna. Now, Bruno Senna was dropped by the Williams team, to be blunt, for good reason. Wasn't quick enough. But he comes with a name, he comes with a lot of sponsorship, and that is what Force India need at the moment. They really need a lot of money. Things are not working out too great for them on the financial side of things, with Vijay Mallya having all sorts of problems in his business life. So, out of the four, you got Sutil, who comes with a bit of money. You got Bianchi, who will be pushed a little bit by Ferrari. You've got Senna, who comes with a truckload of money. And then you've got Kamui Kobayashi, who doesn't come with very much money. I would love to see, personally, Kamui Kobayashi in the car. I have a strange feeling we will see Bruno Senna in the car. So that's what's going on with the world of Force India. In the rest of the world of Formula One, the F1 W04 Mercedes car has done its first run this morning at Jerez as a promotional run with Nico Rosberg. Of course, their second driver is now Lewis Hamilton, and I'm sure he will be very, very prominent when it comes to the launch later on today. That's basically it at the moment. We heard over the weekend that Guido van der Garde has got the second driver's seat at Caterham. So Caterham have got Charles Pic and Guido van der Garde. I think very ambitious of Caterham, two young drivers. Charles Pic has had a season in Formula One. Guido van der Garde has had a few races, but has been more of a test pilot. So Caterham going from the experience of Vitaly Petrov and Heikki Kovalainen to two very young drivers are going to have their work run out for them during the course of the season. Anyway, so that's a brief look at the world of Formula One.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course you
may. It might be
may.
very stupid, but
Nothing
what
stupid.
do you mean comes with a lot of money? Is that their own personal sponsorship? Okay.
Basically, they can acquire tremendous personal sponsorship and sponsorship to the team.
Okay.
Those kind of things. So they do have a lot of money. We are, unfortunately, in Formula One in very much a pay drive scenario. And the fact that the world economy is all taking a little bit of a bash, those who have got money have got the ability to get drives. Not so much sometimes the talent, but the money.
That's quite sad.
It is very sad. It is very sad that what we're going through. Of course, it will change, but it's not going to change in the near future.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Beautiful.
Gears with Sasha Martinengo on bulls.co.za.